Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 3 between EGIdrA and Squirtle. This game is going to be played out on Lost Temple, with EGIdrA as our red Zerg at the bottom left and Squirtle as our blue Protoss at the top right. Go and watch games 1 and 2 if you have not already, but the series is currently, please watch the games, 1-1. EGIdrA took the first game decisively in a macro game where he just completely out-strategized his opponent, but then Squirtle came back, repeating his Game 1's fast Stargate strategy and defeating EGIdrA with the quick Void Ray and with Phoenixes to support. And so let's see how this one is played out. This is from the IEM Season 5 World Championship quarterfinals held in around March 2011. So promises to be an exciting matchup. Again, if you are newly joining the series, I am casting this because I'm a huge fan of Squirtle, and I have not done an EGIdrA game yet. Felt like casting a PvZ. My worst matchup personally, but it's really interesting to watch because it can, as in any matchup, go either way, and that is largely dependent on the Protoss players opening, because the Zerg has a little bit more flexibility with the Roachling pressure or transition into mutas, but it's all about how the Protoss plays it out. If you can hold off against that Roachling, if the Roachling does exist, and transition into something like the Stargate as Squirtle's done, then the Protoss will have more potential to win. But I think the game is decided by the Protoss, essentially, because how he plays it out in reaction to the Zerg's rather conventional PvZ strategy is really how it's going to pan out, because often you'll just see that Roachling and nothing for a while, and then maybe a Hydra Muta, as we saw from EGIdrA in Game 1. He got that Spire in response to the Stargate, and also even the wall. Sometimes I've lost to some fast pressure just because of a bad wall with 2 weeks, or just a bad wall in general. It's frustrating. I'm working on my PvZ. I think Immortals are key if you're going against Roachling, but the personally, I think the Robotics Facility should be used in any matchup. If you're a Protoss player, you should have the no hatch, by the way, from EGIdrA. Squirtle has this insane scout as he's always gotten, but you should always have the Robotics Facility as a Protoss player at one point in the game, because they just offer you the Warp Prison potential for drops and Mobile Pylon, Colossus, which is such a powerful unit in itself against most compositions, Immortal, which can beat any armor unit, including the basic ground units, Stalker, Marauder, and Roach, especially Roach, and then the Observer gives you key vision, so I think it's not even that expensive an investment, and it's worth it for almost any player. So EGIdrA has been going for the slightly later hatch in the series at around 20, but Squirtle going to get a very nice pylon block, going to even further delay this hatchery by a couple population now, so that's going to be a little bit frustrating for EGIdrA, and Squirtle does not get the cancel off. So a pretty nice play there by our Zerg player. He does have his always pull up. And let's see what kind of income we've got going on. Just 22-17 again for EGIdrA. Not really establishing too much of a natural, focusing more on the main and then worker transferring and out. Initially, we saw as well in the last game, Squirtle had more workers, and then after the natural was established, EGIdrA was able to surpass him. We do have the Zealot here at the choke with the drone just sitting around in Squirtle's base. Some nice overlord spread here from EGIdrA. Look at that. He has so much vision around this map just from that, combined with the Zelnaga. So he's just going to be hunting around with this drone, which will now die. And there goes the Stargate. It's always been the case. Well, always. I'm freaking casted 3 games. It's always been the case in this series that Squirtle waits for the scout to die, smartly so, before establishing that Stargate, because then it's not revealed, but I'm sure EGIdrA does suspect it. His natural still has not finished, so he's vulnerable again to this. We saw that in the last game. He was on just beginning the 2-base play, and just before he could get established and reach that key point in his strategy was when Squirtle hit him hard with the Void Ray, 1 Phoenix I believe it was, and GG. So we do have that worker transfer now from EGIdrA. Let's see if he's, I don't think he's got, no, he's just now catching up to his opponent. Metabolic boost will soon finish, but I think this lair attack is going to have to come in time for EGIdrA. He's going to have to invest in Hydras. As we saw in the last game, he GG'd while 6 Hydras were in production. Arguably a bad decision, but nonetheless, EGIdrA. He will always stand by his own choice. And there's this Void Ray getting Chrono boosted out. I'm sure Phoenix will follow it again. So we just have that 3-gate Stargate play, with the 3rd gate always landing almost exactly when Warp Gate finishes. This one has not been transformed for a good few seconds now. But that's just so proficient of Squirtle. We are just going to have the Spine Crawl right the natural here. So EGIdrA completely unsuspecting. That could ultimately lead to his downfall. I mean, he should be looking for some Stargate play. He's seen it in almost every game, so I think it should be almost commonplace for him. And he does have one Void Ray out. Let's check where that is on the map. Oh, it's actually, there is a proxy pylon, and where is our Void Ray right now? There it is. Okay, so we do have one Void Ray with 1 kill. I don't know if it killed an Overlord or something of the sort. Let us see. 150 resources lost. There's a drone and an Overlord. Look at that. Mathematical deductions. So the Hydra Den now on the way from EGIdrA. And again, it's going to be that Hydra timing that will decide this game. It is 1/4 of the way done. Nice proxy pylon over here by Squirtle. So he's going to get those key reinforcements. The gold now just probably soon going to go up. And here's the Overseer moving in. And there's a second and third Void Rays in production. Yeah, the second one has finished. Yes, it has. And the third now on the way. So instead of opting for that Phoenix, as he did in the last game, EGIdrA and Squirtle is instead going to go for the multi-Void Ray play. So the Hydra Den has finished now. Groove Spines and 4 Hydralisks on the way. So, I mean, the Hydras will make a huge difference against the Void Rays, but it's also going to be the ground army compositions, how they can pit off against each other. Because if Squirtle is able to nimbly take out his opponent's Hydras, then they've been rendered useless against the Void Rays. So now EGIdrA is going to have to pull his queens off the hatcheries. Nice Guardian Shield up there from Squirtle. He does have 3 Void Rays now, as the Hydras are going to focus down, but they have not been able to kill any of them. Drones pulled off the line, and that could be a quite immediate GG from EGIdrA. He's lost just too many workers at this point, and that could be it for him. Because even none of these Void Rays have sustained serious damage. It's mostly been the ground force. There are no Hydras left, and he will soon lose this natural. So, might even give some animosity. But no, EGIdrA is going to call GG, which is quite uncommon for him. The more I watch his stream and replays. So, GG there from EGIdrA. Squirtle does go up 2-1 in this series. It is a best of 5. Catch you guys in the next episode. Austin77 signing off.